Lights, camera, debate, ignite, passion strong under the spotlight. Tune in for the clash, tune in for the spark. The critic and the cynic light up the dark.
Welcome back to The Critic and the Cynic. Now this one, I've enjoyed seeing the previews a little bit, and that is Sugarplummed. This is the one that you're like, I'm not going back to watch other Sugarplum movies, which there is none. It's like a movie within a movie situation.
Well, it looked like there would be prequels, and
yeah, because that was kind of the idea, was that in the setting of the movie, there is a movie series, something about sugar plums or something like that, and that is what they're basing stuff off of in here. So let's go ahead and look at the poster here. We got Janelle Parrish from Pretty Little Liars and Maggie Lawson from Psych. Okay, so there's definitely magic in this. There's some Christmas magic going on in this movie. Okay, so our tagline for the film is, her Christmas needs a little star power. Okay, and I guess that explains why Janelle Parrish is holding a Christmas star on the poster. I don't know. Let's go ahead and read the premise. Emily's wish for a picture-perfect Christmas comes true when a magical, optimistic movie character steps off of the screen to help. But as things spiral out of control, she learns that true holiday perfection might look very different from what she imagined. Last Action Hero, in that, you had the kid that jumped into the movie and met all these movie characters. In this, the movie character has stepped out of the screen to help. Now that's some movie magic right there.
Is it?
Yes. I'm looking forward to it. I think, I thought that the trailers and the previews that we've seen were kind of cute.
2 hours later.
So, we just finished Sugarplummed. This was one that I was going back and forth from on, thinking it could be good, it could be kind of stupid, but what do you think about it?
I think it was fine, and borderline good.
Borderline good.
I mean, like, it's obviously not great, but it did not take itself too seriously. I mean, the whole point was kind of making fun of all the rules and tropes that Christmas movies use, and trying to bring them into the quote-unquote real world.
Right, it was a tongue-in-cheek type of movie. So if you like Elf, then I think that you could appreciate Sugarplummed, because instead of an elf in the North Pole coming to the real world, you have a movie character that is from basically Hallmark Christmas movie series and comes into the real world and uses her Christmas magic to help a family with their Christmas dilemma.
Right.
I thought that it felt like Christmas, not just because of Christmas magic, but it definitely seemed to lean into the fact that it was getting some inspiration from Elf. They had some Elf music in there, where I had whistling with the Christmas jingle bell music that you heard a lot from an Elf. It had the same type of music in this, and a lot of that making fun of itself really, I think, helped it.
Right, because it was a two-pronged approach, because the person from the movie was, I don't understand this world because these rules always work and everything is magic. And then you had the actual character base in the real world, who was always like, yeah, that's stupid. All your rules are stupid. They don't work here. This is not how the world works.
Right, and that's pretty funny. There was a scene in the movie where she was arrested, and she's like, oh, my name is Sugarplum, or whatever, or Sugarplum for short. And it reminded me a lot of the scene in The Santa Claus with Tim Allen when he was arrested, and he's like, no, I got all these different names, Saint Nicholas, you know, Santa Claus, and all this different things, where the cops are just looking at him like complete nutcase. And it was like that. So it's got a little bit of everything. It's got a little bit of Elf in there, a little bit of the Miracle, Mrs. She's basically Mary Poppins. And then you got a little bit of the Santa Claus in there. You mentioned Barbie, but Barbie was kind of like Elf in terms of this fictional character coming into the real world. So it's got that fish out of water scenario, and there's a lot going on here that I actually appreciated quite a bit. The two leads here, it was pretty cool because, once again, we're talking about a movie that wasn't really about romance. There was romance in there for the kid.
Well, very slight.
Very slight.
Like a crush, like a teenage crush.
But otherwise, it was just about the family because she's a lawyer, but really she's trying her hardest to be more together with her family, and that's really what the movie is about. It's not about love at all, which is cool. So any of these movies on Hallmark which isn't about romance is pretty good. So here's the thing though, we are out of buttons.
Right, and I might have thrown in a unicorn button if I still had it.
Yeah.
And I think it was better than a lot of the movies that we've watched. I think that this could get away with not even being a Hallmark movie. Like, it could have easily been a Netflix movie or even a studio movie. I would believe it as a studio movie because they were making fun of it.
It was making fun of itself because I forget what it was on the channel that they said.
It was the home holiday. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Silly.
But Hallmark's not just holidays, but
Holiday Home Network. I don't know.
Something like that,
Yeah.
where it was like, clearly you're talking about Hallmark.
Yeah.
And then she comes into the real world. She's got a rule book with her, which is all the tropes of Hallmark.
Yeah. If they hate each other, they will fall in love.
Yep. So I think that this was a pretty solid movie on the Hallmark list of Christmas movies. I was hoping that would be the case, and obviously it's got the Christmas magic in there just to actually feel a little bit more like Christmas. So what would you rate it?
I'm gonna go with 70.
I would probably agree with that. I was kind of going back and forth between 70 and like 75, you know?
Yeah.
It's got those moments in it, but at the same time, one of the problems that Hallmark seems to have with almost every single one of their movies is pacing. And so there's moments, I think, in all these movies, almost all of them, that where it feels like it slows down to the point where I just don't care about it, get to the point. Even though every single one of the movies is an hour and 24 minutes minus all the commercials.
Right. But sometimes they feel very long.
Yes, some of them feel like they go on for 3 hours. This one's pacings wasn't that bad, but there was moments here and there where I was just like, it's slowing down. So I'll go with 70 with you. So we both agree, the Critic and the Cynic, we both agree 70% for Sugarplummed. This is definitely one that I would recommend. Out of all the list of movies that we've seen, I would say this is one of the better ones.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree. So if you're looking for a holiday movie, feel free to put this one on and you'll probably have fun with it.
Yeah, for sure. So this was Sugarplummed.